Formaji YouTube video k lia oper jo tum ny story lik kdhs k oper tai men strong hook lik k do. Hook jandar. Suspenseful our curiosity si bar por hona chaye k mary vauer engage ho jn our video ko ntk deken title, Glass Hearts. The wind whispered through the empty streets. Streetlights flickered, casting long shadows across cracked pavement. She walked slowly, every step echoing in the silence. Her heart thudded against her chest, heavy and restless. The air smelled of wet asphalt and something metallic. She felt eyes on her, though no one was visible. A soft clinking sound came from the abandoned shop on the corner. Glass glittered inside, catching the dim light in sharp, jagged patterns. She stepped closer, drawn by a strange mix of fear and curiosity. The door creaked as she pushed it open. Inside, rows of delicate glass hearts hung from thin wires, swaying without wind. Each heart reflected her face in fragmented pieces. She reached out, fingertips trembling, brushing against one of the hearts. A sharp tingle ran through her hand, like electricity dancing on her skin. A sudden draft slammed the door behind her. The hearts swung violently, as if alive, shattering silence into shards. A cold whisper brushed her ear, almost human but impossible to place. Her breath froze. One of the hearts cracked, a thin line spreading across its surface like veins. The shards fell, glinting ominously on the floor. Something moved in the corner of the room, just beyond the broken reflections. She could not tell if it was a shadow or a person. Every instinct screamed for her to run, yet her feet were frozen to the ground. The room seemed to shrink, pressing the air into her lungs. Then she saw it, reflected in the largest heart at the center. A face, familiar yet wrong, smiling with empty eyes. She gasped, and the heart trembled, ready to break again. The smile on the face in the glass was wrong, too wide, too knowing. It mimicked her own expression, but warped, cruel, and hollow. Her eyes darted around the room, desperate for an escape, but the walls seemed to pulse in the dim light. The air grew thick, sticky, like the room itself was holding its breath. She heard the soft tap of glass against glass behind her. Slow, deliberate, impossible to ignore. Every heart in the room now swung in unison, tiny echoes of a rhythm she did not recognize. Her stomach turned, a cold knot tightening as the shadows stretched further. The broken heart on the floor glinted like a predator waiting to strike. She forced herself to take a step back, the wood of the floorboards groaning under her weight. The reflection in the largest heart began to move independently. It raised a hand, beckoning her closer, its motion unnatural, like liquid glass flowing. Her chest tightened, every nerve screaming danger. She turned to run, but the door had vanished. Where the entrance once was, only the smooth wall remained, cold and unyielding. Panic surged, but her legs refused to obey. A single heart in the far corner began to beat. Soft at first, like the distant pulse of a living creature. Then faster, harder, filling the entire room with its rhythm. She realized it was not a heartbeat. It was her own, amplified, echoing in the glass. The whisper returned, louder this time, curling around her ears. Do you see it? Do you understand? The voice was hers, and not hers, a terrifying twin born of reflection. She stumbled back, knocking over a row of hearts. They shattered instantly, and the shards did not fall. They hovered, suspended midair, spinning slowly around her like fragments of frozen screams. Her fingertips brushed one, and pain shot through her hand, sharp and immediate. It was not glass. It was her own flesh, mirrored and contorted. Her breathing became ragged, loud in the heavy silence. The reflections multiplied. Every glass heart now contained a different version of herself. Some smiled, some wept, some stared with empty sockets. Her stomach lurched, nausea twisting her insides. The shadows in the corners began to writhe, creeping across the floor, stretching like ink spilled on water. A sound emerged, soft at first, then building, a chorus of laughter and sobs intertwined. She pressed her hands to her ears, but it only grew louder, drilling into her skull. The largest heart in the center began to vibrate violently. Cracks raced across its surface, jagged lines spreading like spiderwebs. The face inside twisted, lips